Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to tackle a couple of problems simply solving some basic functions. These are some problems that my 10s had last week, and there's still some students that are struggling with it, so I just wanted to give you a couple of quick examples so you could keep up and keep refreshed. And so solving some basic functions. We've got two different problems on this page, and I'm going to do two more that are a little more complex in a minute. This one says f of x is equal to 3x minus 1, so that's my first function. The function of x is 3x minus 1. And I've got another function over here, g of n is equal to 3n squared plus 1. The first one, I'm asked to solve for f of negative 9. And for the g function over here, it's the solve for n when g of n is equal to 13. These are the two sort of most basic function problems that you'll get. One where it gives you a function of x where you're given a value of negative 9, and the other one is solving for when the function is equal to something. These questions are similar, but are treated very differently in their solutions. So let's look at the first one. It says f of x is equal to 3x minus 1, solve for f of negative 9. When I've got a question like this, that means I am going to solve this function when the x is negative 9. So what does that look like? Well, that means I'm going to take f of negative 9, and when the function is at negative 9, it is equal to 3 times, because 3x, 3 times the negative 9 minus the 1. So I just do some arithmetic. So the function at negative 9, or f of negative 9, is equal to 3 times negative 9, which is negative 27, minus 1, or f of negative 9 is equal to negative 28. That's it. That's all I have to do for this one. The g of n is a little different. It says g of n is equal to 3n squared plus 1. Solve for n when g of n is equal to 13. That means what is the value of n when this function is equal to 13? Unlike over here where I'm solving it for the function at this value, here I know the function is equal to 13, and I'm going to solve for n when the whole thing equals 13. So what do? Well, I take the function, I write it down, 3n squared plus 1, and I set that equal to 13. Now I simply just use some algebra skills, work backwards to solve for n. So how do I do that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 1 from both sides. That gives me 12. 13 minus 1 is 12. And 1 minus 1 gives me 0. So 3n squared is equal to 12. I'm now going to divide by 3. I divide 3n squared by 3, and I get n squared. I divide 12 by 3, and I get 4. So now I've got 4 is equal to n squared. Well, here I've done opposite operations. So the opposite operation of a square, or to raise a power to 2, would be to square root it, or to put it to the power of 1/2. So I square root the 4, and I square root the n squared. That gives me n is equal to 2. Pretty straightforward. Let's look at a couple of more difficult ones now. So these ones are a bit harder. So the first one I've got is f of n is equal to n squared minus 4, and I'm going to solve for f of negative 2x. So I'm going to put in for n negative 2x and simplify. So f of negative 2x would be equal to negative 2x squared minus 4. So I have to square everything inside the brackets. That's going to give me f of negative 2x is equal to 4. Negative 2 squared. Negative 2 times 2 is 4. And then x squared and minus 4. I can't do anything else. This is as far as this one simplifies. And it's just a matter of recognizing when you can take one further and when you cannot. Another one that we had looked at in class was this one. And here I'm given multiple functions. And I'm asked to take these two functions, and the question says solve for x when f of x is equal to g of x. So I'm going to take these two functions, and I'm going to set them equal to each other. So 3x minus 1, f of x, is equal to g of x, which is 6x plus 2. Now I'm going to solve for x. How do I do that? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 6x to put all my x's on the left, and subtract 6x from both sides. That gives me negative 3x minus 4 is equal to 2. Sorry. Now I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Add 4 and add 4, and that will give me negative 3x is equal to 6. Last step is I'm going to divide by negative 3 to get x by itself. Divide by negative 3, and then divide both sides by negative 3. That leaves me with x is equal to negative 2. those are some basic functions. Live long and math on.